So it turns out my stepmom is infertile. What's her idea to fix this? She wants me, female, to donate my eggs to my father. My dad, he's 58 and divorced to my mom, who's also 58. Well, 10 years ago, she got custody of me, 24, because she made more money and is able to provide a stable home for me. Mom never remarried. He remarried my stepmom 2 years ago, and she's a very nice woman. They're very much in love, and there's no hard feelings on any side of the family. At the beginning of the year, my stepmom called me to tell me that she's heartbroken because she can't have bio children. She and Dad have been trying, but they could not conceive because she was infertile after many doctor visits. I think she did not want to accept that news, so she went to others to have someone tell her that the tests are wrong. While I'm close with him, I'm not comfortable with knowing that type of intimate detail. Stepmom told me that she's looking into vitro and she's also wanting a child like me. I don't consider myself special, but she wants me to be a mold for a bio child. She asked if I could consider donating my eggs to her and use Dad's sperm to make a child with the closest DNA match to them. Ugh, I don't understand her logic. Dad is obviously against it, and so is Mom. But stepmom doesn't think this is wrong because it's not like we're having sexual contact. This dropped on me after a week of back and forth between us. She would not let it go and wants me to reconsider. I was super uncomfortable when she mentioned using my eggs with my dad. Then it reached inappropriateness when she insinuated that we weren't even making sexual contacts. She roped my dad's side of the family into the matter. They're religious, like old school belief religious, and believe in patriarchal. Dad doesn't have an heir to take the family name because they don't see me as worthy of being the head of the household. They've been bombarding me with messages and calls for my selfishness, saying I'm depriving a good woman of a chance to be a mother, and denying the father's right to have an heir. The family's accusing Mom of shoving her Western independent view on me when I was a child. I've since cut contact with that side of the family and my stepmom. I'm too sickened by the thought of it. Things are now awkward between Dad and me, so I went low contact. Now, I'm starting to think I'm making a big deal out of it. She's right, we're not doing anything insidious. I know I have the right to say no, but really guilty for crushing stepmom's heart. Am I overreacting by blocking stepmom? I don't know if you guys thought this story was as crazy as I did, but let's just look at a comment because I think it sums it up pretty well. Not the a-hole. Ew, this is so ducking gross. Your dad's seed is supposed to impregnate an egg whose genetic material is already half his? I know infertility can drive people crazy, but oh my gosh, what medical professional would even entertain this possibility of doing this? Not the a-hole. Guys, I have to say I agree with that comment. I think this story is just plain out weird. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you're new here and you're enjoying these type of stories, check us out. We do stories every single day, so subscribe to the channel. Story number 2 that we're going to look at on the day is titled, Am I the a-hole for being the reason my dad is going low/no contact with his brother and other family members? The latest Mr. Reddito producer, Christine Billings. Thank you so much for the support. For a bit of background, I, 16 female, live with my dad. My mom and her family aren't in the picture for reasons irrelevant to the story. My dad has an older brother who has a son, 20 male, henceforth known as Rick. And the 4 of us spend a lot of time together. Rick and I have never gotten along. As long as I can remember, he's picked on me, told me my hobbies are dumb, and when we were younger, he would break my stuff. Yesterday was the first time in a while that we had them over. I was just chilling by the bonfire playing on my phone, while my dad and uncle were catching up. Rick excused himself to go to the bathroom, but he was gone for quite a while. My dad asked me to go check on him, and when I did, he wasn't in the bathroom. He was digging around in my now trashed room. I say this. What the are you doing?
You have a Nintendo Switch, right? Where is it?
Get out of my room. Don't touch my stuff.
Just tell me where your Switch is.
At this point, pretty much everything I own's on the floor. I start screaming at him to get the F out and stop touching my crap, and I would never let him use my Switch. Both our dads came in to see what the commotion was, and as soon as my dad saw the state of my room, he told Rick to get out, and if anything was broken, he would expect them to pay for it. My uncle lost his shit, telling my dad Rick must have had a good reason for this. This started a fight between the two of them, and my dad saying no reason Rick possibly would justify him invading my room like this. While my uncle says, as our guest, we should be more accommodating to him. My dad kicked them both out. As they were leaving, Rick told me I was a stuck-up beep. I told him I don't see him as a family anymore, and from now on, I would treat him like a total stranger. My uncle called a little later, asking my dad to apologize, but my dad said he would only talk to him or Rick if they apologized. Well, Uncle and Rick told the rest of the family what went down, and everyone's against me and Dad. Every time a family member calls us up to berate us, my dad cuts them off and said they can be a part of our lives when they pull their head out of their arses. This entire thing was completely alienated my dad and I for the rest of our family. I'm terrified he's going to start resenting me for what happened. Am I the a-hole for making a scene about Rick? Okay guys, this story got really interesting at the end. I noticed something in the comment section that said what Rick actually did in the bedroom. Let's go ahead and read this, guys. This is crazy. I can't go into details, but we discovered Rick had stolen a bunch of my panties from the hamper. It came out when he was sending very explicit messages and pictures of friends of mine on Facebook, and now he's being investigated. Alright, so it turns out this Rick was a weirdo and a piece of crap. Let me know what you guys make of this story, drop your thoughts down below, and do share any similar stories that you might have had. There's one final story on today's video, and man, I'll tell ya, it's pretty crazy. OP was an accident, and after years of negligence, OP finally confronts their family. I was basically an accident. When I was born, my siblings were 16 male, 18 male, 18 female, 20 female, and 23 female. And my parents were both 46. I was never abused in my childhood, but I was neglected and my entire family resented me. My parents did not really think that they would get pregnant again, but here we are. I was never really looked after by anyone and basically had to raise myself. No one ever really spent any time with me or played with me or anything when I was a kid. They did not ever buy me anything significant either. Just handed my siblings clothes and things. I realized this as I got older, so I focused on myself. My thought process at the time was that there was something wrong with me because my siblings were loved by them. So I improved myself and did things for them. Maybe then they would accept me and love me. I always got the best grades in school. My father was a football enthusiast and played in high school. But I was a basketball lover, but I still dropped it and took up football just to make him proud. I made sure I did all my chores readily and always kept my room clean, but nothing I did was ever enough for them. Like, for example, if I was first in class, my parents would ask me why I did not get a higher score. They ignored the percentile but focused on the percentage, and things like that. My siblings or parents never even bothered to show up for a single game. I was never accepted for what I was, only detested me for what I wasn't. My siblings also did not allow me to hang out with them at any time at all. We celebrated my father's birthday yesterday. I'm 16 years old today. My siblings do not live with us anymore, and my mother had to leave early and would not return till later in the evening. So it was just me and him for the day. I decided to serve him breakfast in bed just as he woke up. I cooked it and bought him a tie for a present since I know it's not the best present, but I was on a budget. Nothing too extravagant because I want to save as much money as possible for college. But it was definitely a smart one. I also cooked lunch for us and took care of all the chores. The most he could have come up with was a pathetic thank you. And it was clear he wanted me to leave him alone, so I did just that. We all went out, siblings included, to a dinner, and the way these would go is that we would all have a good time, and I would just sit in the corner. This is the case with almost all family dinners we've ever attended. We went back home, and I don't know why. I really don't know what triggered it, but for some reason I just started crying all of a sudden. Maybe it was them being so happy together. I don't know. And when they asked me what happened, I just blew up on them and told them how I felt about my entire childhood, how they never showed me any kind of love and affection amongst other things. I don't know exactly what I said, but I do remember I ended up by saying that I wish they had aborted me if they hate me so much, or could have given me up for adoption so they could all live their lives without me. My eldest sister started to say something, but I just ran up to my room and closed the door and went to sleep, listening to some Hans Zimmer, because they just kept knocking at the door. Early this morning, I went out my window and went to a secluded spot that I often go to, usually to play some guitar, just place around playing music, or just enjoy the sound of nature. I'm sitting down right here now writing this on my phone. It's 4:30 a.m. and don't know what to do. I'm sorry if I just went on a rant, but this is the first time I'm able to tell my childhood to anyone. Now, how exactly do I tackle this problem? I've pretty much given up on my family and have spent enough of my time trying to please them. Do I still try to form any kind of bond with them? Do I completely drop them off? What exactly is the best thing to do here? Hey guys, Mr. Reddito here. This story is crazy. The negligence and abuse OP put up with is wild. Don't worry, I do have an update that will kind of resolve what's going on. Hit that like button if you're enjoying so far and subscribe to the channel. Let's jump right into this update. First off, I want to thank everyone for the amount of support that you guys have given. It was really overwhelming and I can't express in words how much that meant. I was reading all the comments and everything till about 11 to 12. Then decided to go home to face the family. I arrived home to quite a melancholic environment. As soon as I arrived, the first thing they all did was hug me, which honestly surprised me. This was probably the first time in years they were showing me any kind of affection. They prepared some food for me, and after I ate, we all had a talk. My oldest nephew, who's 2 years younger than me, who often reads posts from this sub, saw it and showed my sister. They all first of all apologized for the way they treated me. They confirmed that I was an accident and none of them wanted to deal with another baby, and I basically ducked their life plans up. They did not really want to do anything with me, so they just started ignoring me because I never seemed to need anything from them. Their reasoning was that I was always doing great in life. I always did my chores on time, kept my things neat and clean as a kid, and always got good grades. Never complained about anything and did a great job in sports. They just assumed that I never required or wanted anything from them. So they were able to just keep ignoring me and pretend as if I wasn't even there. They said that this did not justify their behavior, especially after they read the post. They just wanted to explain their own actions. I just made it easy for them to ignore me. They all asked me to forgive them for alienating me, and they said that they would do their best from now on to make me feel as if I was truly a part of the family. They then wanted to go out and celebrate my birthday, but I was just mentally and physically exhausted. So I just went to sleep, woke up in the evening, and just ended up playing video games for the rest of the night, till I went back to sleep. I don't really know how to feel about this. I thought about it long and hard, and decided I'll try to form some kind of bond with them, if that's even possible. The one thing I'll do is trying to start to work and live for just myself right now. My priority is getting straight to college, and I'll mainly work towards that. If reconciliation doesn't work out, at least I have a goal on purpose in life to work towards too until I can get away from here. Thank you so much for helping me and supporting me through all this. If you guys have any further questions, drop them in the comment section down below. Okay guys, let me read this comment and we'll talk about it in the comment section. I want to know if you guys agree with this or not. This person stating, trust me, if OP decided to go no contact, they would definitely hold financial help against them with the quote, hey, we tried being nice after your outburst, and you're just giving us the cold shoulder. How dare you? I wasn't as neglected, but my parents gave the same-ish reasoning for lukewarm reactions and achievements, but my existence, until I snapped. I just wasn't as high maintenance as my sister, so I was one less concern for them. Alright guys, so that's a similar situation. Let me know what you thought of that comment. Drop yours down below. You know I love reading your opinions, and I read every single comment on the videos. So drop that down below, and that's all the content I have for you today. I hope y'all have an amazing day, and remember, it's cool to be kind.